Today's episode is sponsored by Midwest Fire. For more than 20 years, Midwest Fire has been manufacturing high-quality tankers, tanker pumpers, and fire rescue vehicles in the United States and Canada. Keeping firefighters safe while enhancing their capabilities is what they do best. To learn more, go to MidwestFire.com.
We can dance, everybody look at your hands. We can dance, everybody's taking the chance. Safe to dance, oh it's safe to dance. Yes, it's safe to dance.
Welcome to episode 244 of the Situational Awareness Matters show. I'm your host, Rich Gassaway. The purpose of this show is to help improve situational awareness and high-risk decision-making for individuals and teams who work in high-stress, high-consequence, time-compressed environments with changing conditions. The SA Matters mission is simple. We want to help you see the bad things coming and time to avoid bad outcomes. I'm coming to you today from my office in St. Paul, Minnesota, having just returned from Fort McMurray, Alberta, where I presented 15 programs on situational awareness and high-risk decision-making for oil refinery operators at Syncrude, Canada, and 2 additional programs for emergency response teams and oil refinery workers in other areas of the region. In today's feature segment, I have a very special guest and I'm super excited. I don't want to ruin the surprise about my guest just yet, but they're a very well-known person and they are known to have exceptional situational awareness. And he's going to offer you 12 tips for improving workplace situational awareness. All right, I'm going to make one last mention of a special offer on enrollment in the SA Matters Online Academy. This is it. We're down to the deadline. Your department can enroll up to 100 members for a flat fee of $2,999. On January 1, the tuition reverts back to the normal pricing of $199 per student. I've talked about the Academy in previous episodes, so I'm not going to do that anymore. If you want to learn more about the Academy, just visit the samatters.com website and click on the green box on the right side of the homepage. Or you can just give me a call at 612-548-4424. If you're interested in learning more or you want to enroll some students, then you can just send me an email. It's support@richgassaway.com. All right, no further delays. Let's jump into our feature segment with a very special guest talking about 12 ways to improve your situational awareness. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, everyone! I know that everyone's feeling particularly festive this time of the year, and old Santa is feeling some situational awareness love. Surely you've heard of the 12 days of Christmas. You know, Partridge in a Pear Tree and all that other stuff that no one really wants. Oh, perhaps with the exception of the 5 golden rings, of course. Just don't wear all the rings at one time. You know that old Santa has good situational awareness. He's always capturing the clues and the cues of the good little girls and boys. And in the spirit of Christmas, old Santa would like to share with you his list for how to develop and maintain strong situational awareness all year long. And of course, like any child at Christmas, this list could be so much longer than 12 items. Oh, you know that. So I encourage you to go back through the archives on the SA Matters website and read some of the more than 400 articles. That's right, 400. And they're all free. That's Santa's gift to you. All right, here's Santa's 12 ways to improve situational awareness wish list. I hope you have them this Christmas and all throughout the year. Number 12, communication skills. This is one of Santa's favorites. This includes both listening and speaking skills. Flawed communications can be a significant barrier to situational awareness. There are many articles about communications on the SA Matters blog that include suggestions for how to improve communications. Just click on the search box on the right side of the page and type communications to see all of the articles on this topic. You know, in the olden days, they used to communicate by banging on drums. Now they have handheld computers, for goodness sakes, and we're still plagued with communications challenges. Santa can tell you that even with 12 drummers drumming, there are still many opportunities to improve in this area. Number 11, vigilance. To be vigilant is to always be on guard. Always on guard. Your imagination is not good enough to think of all the ways you can get killed while performing high-risk, high-consequence work. Be alert, even when it seems like things are routine. That is the mindset of the survivalist. Nero fiddled while Rome burned, and 11 pipers played their flutes at Christmas. Play whatever instrument you want. Just be sure to do it with your guard up. Always. Number 10, avoiding judgment. The judging mind cannot be a learning mind. When you jump to conclusions about how workers are getting hurt or killed, you miss some really important lessons on how things unfold around them, why things made sense to them at the moment that things went wrong. This Christmas season, the Lords may be leaping, but keep your feet planted firmly on the ground. No jumping to conclusions. Number 9, ask the hard questions. When your organization has a near miss or a casualty event, don't dance around the issue. Address the issues head on. Near miss and casualty events present great learning opportunities. If you're going to do any dance, make it a safety dance, not a denial dance. The moves for the safety dance result in learning and enlightenment and change. The moves for the denial dance produce anger and resentment and blame. Number 8, debrief. There is a lesson to be learned after every incident. Even if things turn out okay, there are lessons to be learned. Milk every opportunity to learn and share. If you can't think of one, come up with some what-if scenarios to discuss. Discuss how things might have turned out if just the circumstances were just slightly different. Don't be shy. Grab a hold of opportunities to become smarter and squeeze out every lesson you can. Number 7, know your limitations. Understand and respect the limits of your conscious awareness. The average person can only capture, process, and comprehend and recall about 7 pieces of unrelated information. Give or take 2. That's not very many. And their short-term memory is so limited. Unless something happens fast to get that information tracking toward the long-term memory storage, it may be quickly forgotten. As you plan how to assess high-risk situations, think about the 5 to 7 most critical pieces of information you need to make a good decision. That's an important one. Number 6, practice. To be proficient at hands-on skills, workers need to practice their skills a lot. Muscles learn from muscle movement. Muscles don't learn from verbal instructions. The geese may be laying around, but if you want to improve your safety and your skill set, you can't do it by being lazy. Get off your rumps and train. Ho, ho, ho. That's a good one too. Number 5, the recipe from Hell's Kitchen. There is a predictable pattern of events that Santa has seen play out many times, resulting in workplace casualties. That makes Santa very sad. Avoid the 5 C's that make up the recipe from Hell's Kitchen. Complacency with no consequence leads to overconfidence, which results in a cocky attitude, all of which are the precursors for a catastrophe. To learn more about this, enter the recipe from Hell's Kitchen into the search bar on the SAMatters.com website. There's a lot to learn about that one. Number 4, adopt an attitude of safety. It makes old Santa feel ill to hear people say, some workers are being too safe or too cautious in their approach to their work. Yes, high risk, high consequence work is, by its very nature, dangerous. But many of the ways workers are dying are preventable, very preventable. That makes Santa very sad. Pause right now and think of 4 people in your life whose lives would be forever changed if you died on the job. Be sure that the risks you take on your job are worth the potential consequences to the lives that will be forever changed if you would die. That one makes Santa very sad. Number 3, crawl, walk, and run. All too often, workers want to train on the advanced skills without first mastering the basic skills. Santa encourages you to adopt a 3-part crawl, walk, and run approach to your workplace training. Start with a slow crawl through the basic movements of an activity, discussing the how and the why in detail. Then walk through the sequence of events in the segments, stopping along the way to make course corrections as needed. Then once the first 2 steps are mastered, then run! Run! Forrest, run! Run the full evolution, as if the work process was starting from beginning all the way to the end. If you get it right, run it again, and again, and again. If you don't get it right, go back to the walk phase and make corrections in the segments. It's as simple as 1, 2, and 3. Crawl, walk, and run. Number 2, use teams of at least 2 to supervise high-risk work. In high-risk activities like firefighting, responders work in teams. But oftentimes, the person in charge of those teams, as in the firefighting world we call that person the incident commander, is often left to fend for themselves, working alone in high-stress environments. Santa says that's not good. That's a setup for failure. Strive to ensure those who are supervising workers during periods of high vulnerability work in teams of at least 2. And finally, number 1, complete a worksite assessment or a 360-degree size-up. Through the 360-degree size-up, it's the foundation for big-picture situational awareness. It allows you to figure out what the problem is before you start throwing around solutions. That's very important. Santa knows it can be very helpful to know in advance that the great solution that you were planning to implement isn't going to fix the problem, and to know that before things go wrong. Well, that's it. Those are the 12 ways that Santa recommends to improve your situational awareness. Here's wishing you the best of the holiday season and a prosperous, healthy, and safe new year. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Thank you, Santa, for sharing those tips with us. You know, since 2007, Situational Awareness Matters instructors have helped more than 1,200 organizations and over 70,000 individuals improve high-risk decision-making, including first responders, industrial workers, military personnel, business leaders, medical professionals, utility workers, highway workers, public transportation operators, aviation workers, oil refinery process operators, and more. If you work in a high-risk, high-consequence, decision-making environment, we are here to help improve your safety and your survival, and to help you accomplish the most important mission of all, and that's to go home to the ones who love you. I'd like to take a moment to honor and thank those companies, organizations, agencies, and departments that have hosted recent Situational Awareness Matters training for their team members. The Anderson County Fire Department in Anderson, South Carolina. The University Heights Fire Department in University Heights, Ohio. The International Association of Fire Chiefs Volunteer and Combination Officers Section Symposium in the Sun in Clearwater Beach, Florida. The Rogue Interagency Training Association in Medford, Oregon, the Shoreline Fire Department in Shoreline, Washington, and most recently, Syncrude Canada in Fort McMurray, Alberta. Come here, little boy, and tell Santa what you want for Christmas. Oh, my goodness. You're an awful big boy to be sitting on Santa's lap. What do you want for Christmas, little boy?
Santa, I want a Red Ryder BB gun.
Oh, no! You'll shoot your eye out, kid! How about a nice football? That's all good, little boy. Now get out of here. Santa's got eggnog to drink.
Welcome to Chief Miller. Chief Miller operates the largest social media page dedicated to the men and women of the fire service from around the world. Check him out on Instagram at Chief_Miller. Find him on Twitter at Chief_Miller. And check out the website where you can find Chief Miller Apparel at chiefmillerapparel.com.
If you're interested in attending one of our upcoming programs, here's where we're going to be next. On January 3 through 9, we'll be back at the Syncrude Oil Refinery in Fort McMurray, Alberta. January 12, the Quad County Fire Chiefs Association in Lewiston, Idaho. January 15 and 16, the Pearland Fire Department in Texas. January 23, the Redwood City Fire Department in California. January 26th, the Toledo Fire Department in Ohio. February 2 and 3, the Missouri Winter Fire School in Columbia, Missouri. February 22nd, the West Virginia Emergency Services Conference in Pipestem, West Virginia. February 25, the Grand Rapids Fire Department in Minnesota. February 26th, the Hibbing Fire Department in Minnesota. February 27th, the Mountain Iron Fire Department in Minnesota. And February 28th, the Lutsen Fire Department in Minnesota. March 5 through 6 will be at the Baytown Fire Department in Texas. March 7, the TEACS Product Development Center Technology Conference in College Station, Texas. March 12th, the Maryland Fire Rescue Institute National Fire Service Staff and Command Program in Towson, Maryland. And then March 25 to April 3, the Pearl Harbor Naval Shipyard in Oahu, Hawaii.
I think Rich's ability to connect with any crowd, that's a gift that he has, and it's easily transferable.
This is the second or third time that I've heard him speak. There's some teeth to the information that he brings.
It's been really good. Good mixes. He knows when to throw in a joke here and there to
get you back involved.
Some tools. I'm a new lieutenant, so very, very interesting. And some of these things I can take back to the station and use with some of the new firefighters I have on my crew.
Something to get you thinking about your job more, big picture type stuff. I've seen them before. A good review for sure.
I have heard him before, yes. After he speaks, there's usually an enlightenment because now they're more aware of what's going on around them and what they're experiencing as they respond to calls.
He's very, very knowledgeable. I'm enjoying it so far.
And that intuition, that's a big one. The video that you just showed up here, we're getting a lot out of this. I think this is a really good seminar, especially for new people and old. But I think it's very informative. This talk gives us more ammunition to do all three.
They're relatable to what we have experienced or very well could experience, so it makes it easy to let the knowledge sink in.
I mean, it's awesome. A lot of stories you can usually relate to yourself and calls you have been on, aha moment. Like, he just helps you focus on picking out the right things. It's awesome. It's a refresher and keeps my eyes open. It's good stuff.
If people listen to the message that he has, it's an incredible message delivered by a very compassionate person. Strategy and tactics are going to always change. Situational awareness it doesn't change. It's always there.
He's got some good stories to tell, and he's very thorough with his stories, and it's interesting listening to him.
Very clear speaker, and he talks on our level because he's been there, he's been in the trenches. I think he's doing well, and I'm looking forward to the second half.
To see the locations of all the upcoming Situational Awareness Matters tour stops, just head over to the samatters.com website and click on the blue box on the right side of the homepage labeled Live Training Dates. If you're interested in hosting a program, just click on the Contact Us tab on the top of the SA Matters homepage and I'll give you a call. If you want to become part of the SA Matters community of learners, there's a couple of ways you can do that. Just check the show notes for how to get connected with us through our newsletter membership, podcast subscribers, YouTube subscribers, and how to follow us on social media channels of Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. There we're sharing ideas about how to improve situational awareness, how to make better decisions under stress, and how to improve the skills of critical thinking and resilient problem solving. Oh, okay, are we done? Where's my eggnog? Now, bring me a little Jameson to put in this to kill the bacteria that might have grown in my cup all year long. And a little Bailey's for the Jameson, too. Rudolph! Get out of my eggnog! No wonder he has a red nose. I'm Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen. I'm Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. Santa needs to get back to Christmas Town now. Well, that's it. Episode 244 of the Situational Awareness Matters show is complete. Thank you, Santa, for stopping by our studio and sharing your 12 tips for improving situational awareness. Thank you to our awesome sponsors, Midwest Fire and Chief Miller. Thank you to all the companies, agencies, organizations, and associations that have hosted Situational Awareness Matters training programs. Thank you to all the organizations that have hosted virtual internet-based training programs for their organization live via the internet. Thank you to the more than 2,500 students and graduates of the highly acclaimed Situational Awareness Matters Online Academy. Now remember that enrollment special for the Academy ends on December 31st. And most importantly, thank you, the viewers and listeners of this show, for sharing some of your valuable time with me today. I really appreciate your support of the SA Matters mission. Here's wishing you a very Merry Christmas, the best of the holiday season, and a most prosperous, safe, and healthy New Year. May the peace of the Lord and strong situational awareness be with you always.
You've been listening to the Situational Awareness Matters radio show with Dr. Richard B. Gassaway. If you are interested in learning more about situational awareness, human factors, and decision-making under stress, visit samatters.com. If you are interested in booking Dr. Gasaway for an upcoming event, visit his personal website at richgasaway.com.